Hello everyone, this is my fifth time recording this video. I've had like loads of problems with it, but we're going to try and get it done this time. So this is a tutorial for how to create 3D type within Blender from Illustrator. So we're going to start with Illustrator. I'm going to be as quick as I can. This is a beginner's tutorial, so hopefully you can follow along quite easily. So the first thing we're going to do is start in Illustrator. I've just basically drawn out this quick graphic. This is straight from Procreate, no messing about, imported it, but we need to basically prepare it ready for Blender. So what we're going to do is select it. We're going to then go to image trace, and we're going to make sure that it is image trace and we have a vector graphic from this. We're then going to click expand, ungroup, and then delete any extra pieces that we don't need in the shot. Then highlight all of it. We're going to then group it, and we're just going to scale it to just a decent size, as long as everything is inside the canvas. Then we are going to go to File, we're going to go to Export, and we're going to export it as a SVG. You should get an option for an SVG as a drop down. Once that's done, export it and save that SVG somewhere safe. Right, load up Blender, and we're just going to open up a plain document, and we're going to import this SVG. So we're going to go to File at the top, go to Import, and then Scalable Vector Graphic. Once your graphic has been imported, it will basically go onto the canvas very small. So we're just going to scale this up. So highlight the graphic, and then press S on your keyboard and drag upwards to scale this. Delete anything that has come through which you don't need, and basically this graphic will come through in separate objects. So we need to highlight all of this and press Command J. This will link all of them together. Then I'm going to go to the curve section in the bottom corner. We're going to go to geometry, and we're going to extrude it. I'm going to extrude mine by 0.2. I think that's plenty for me. It all depends on what graphic you are using. We're going to put this on the axis that we need to work on, so we're going to press R on the keyboard, Y, and then 90, R, X, 90, and that will basically put it on the right axis so we can work on it. We're going to go to the top, go to Objects, set origin to Geometry, make sure we have this tool selected, and just drag it to roughly center so we can start working on this. We're then going to convert it to a mesh. So we're going to go to Object, we're going to go to Convert, and then to Mesh. This will convert the whole graphic into a mesh, but this mesh is horrible. We do not want this stuff. This is like the worst stuff to sculpt with, so we're going to have to remesh it. So we go to Settings and the cogs. We're going to add a modifier, and we're going to add Remesh. This will make your graphic into some strange looking weird thing, but we need to change that because this is not what we want to work with. So we're going to change the voxel size to something. Please be very careful with the slider. You can blow up your computer, which isn't good. So use it very carefully. I just go below the 0.000 line, something like this, probably plenty. Then we're just going to apply the modifier with a little arrow at the top. Once that's done, we have a very nice new meshed graphic which we can start sculpting. First thing I do is get rid of the material as well. This is a horrible black material, we don't need this. So SVG matte, just click the minus at on the side in the material section. This will send it to a different color, and then we're going to start sculpting the graphic. Oh, fancy. Right, so click the object mode and go to sculpting mode, and we're going to make sure that the Z axis is flipped as well. This is depending on what graphic you're using, but I want it to be the same on each side, so I'm going to hit the Z, and the main tool I'm going to be using within this tutorial is the smooth tool. Okay, so I'm going to press 3 on the keyboard to view it dead on, and then I'm just going to we are then going to start materialing, setting up lighting, and then we're going to export as quick as we can. So the first thing we're going to do is click New on the material section. We're going to click it in a rendered view. What the purple, it might not have anything. Just make sure you're in cycles in the render properties, and then we want to import a HDRI. So I'm going to get this cloud HDRI, very simple, and we're going to go back to the materials, make sure we'll come out of sculpt mode to object mode, and we're just going to change some basic materials properties to make this metallic. So slide the metallic to all the way to 1 and the roughness to about 0.1, around there, and you'll get this easy material. I'm just going to put also a little blue tint on this because it looks fancy. So you have two options. You can export this image with the background or without the background. To do this, we can go to the render properties, go down to film, and then click where it says transparent. Select that box if you want it to be transparent, unselect it if you want it to have your HDRI in the background. This can depend on what you're using this graphic for. If you want to export it as a PNG, I'd recommend obviously exporting it without a background, but for this tutorial we're just going to keep the background. So obviously we need a camera. There might be a camera in your scene. If there isn't, I'll show you how to get that. So we're going to press Shift A, go down to camera, and it will spawn a little camera in, and then we press N on the keyboard, go to view, camera to viewport, and press 0 on the keyboard. This will allow us to like compose a shot. So I'm just going to do something pretty simple, something like this, and you can adjust all the camera properties within the side piece here, so your focal length, etc. All depends on what your preference is. We're just going to check a few boxes to make sure everything's ready for rendering. It should be very simple. So we're going to go to the export output properties. We're just going to check the resolution. I'm just going to go for 1920 by 1080. We're going to make sure the compression's on 0. We're going to go then to the render properties and make sure denoise is set either on or off. Preferably you want to have it on. It will get rid of any like grainy effects, but be careful how you use it. Then we're going to go into the compositing section right at the top. I'm going to click use nodes, and we're going to add a glare. This is a bit experimental, but I recommend just having a go and seeing what happens. I'm going to use fog glow, and I'm going to set it to medium. Experiment with like simple star, streaks, whatever you fancy. And then I think that's everything. Do a quick save, and then you can go to render image. And that's it. That's as quick as I can do it without boring you guys. I hope it was useful. Please like comment below if you have any like suggestions or any like questions, and tag me on Instagram at HiTry. Basically then I can like, I don't know, see what you guys have been up to from this tutorial. That'd be really cool. But I don't want to drag this video on any longer. I hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you in the next video.